Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diz 7 Resorts in 7 Days series for 2018. I'm your host, Pete Werner, and for this episode, I'm joined by our West Coast producer, Mr. Tyler Crouch.
Hey, everybody.
Tyler and I had the opportunity to experience Disney's all-star movie resorts. Now, some of you were very interested in hearing my take on the all-stars. And one of the reasons, just for the entirety of this series, I tried to focus more on the value in the moderate resorts for our reviews, because a lot of times when we've done the 7 and 7s in the past, they've been more the deluxe resorts because that's where I wanted to stay. So we've definitely included some that are on the value and moderate side, some that we haven't done before. But a few months ago, we had done a best and worst of Disney World show where I'd asked folks to tell me what it was about the all-star resorts that they loved. Because every time we would do a poll or any kind of anything on Facebook, about the best resorts or the worst resorts, all-stars was always like right up there in terms of. But I'm like, a lot of people love these resorts. So like, where's the disconnect? And so I made a commitment that I would stay at the All-Stars and give my thoughts. Now, I just stayed at All-Star Movies, so I'm not speaking about sports or music, but today's episode is about All-Star Movies, and I will not leave people in too much suspense in terms, not that any of you are sitting on the edge of your seat wondering what I think, but or maybe you are. You probably are. If you're not, you should be. I'm going to tell you, of all the resorts we experienced doing this round, I was most impressed by the All-Star Movies. To the point where I really don't have much negative to say. From the beginning, from the check-in, I was really taken aback, not just by how friendly the cast member checking us in was. They were genuine. Mm-hmm. It was like, they weren't just like fake Disney smiles.
Yeah.
They were real, like genuinely happy to see you.
Well, they were really curious to know about you and talk to you and figure out where you were from and all those things, which is like what every cast member asks, but they did it in, like you said, a very genuine way where you actually wanted to have a conversation with every single one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, professional, organized. In some of the instances, I did not utilize online check-in because I wanted to see what the check-in experience would be like. In some of the other ones, we did use online check-in because we wanted to see what that experience was like. So in this case, we did not use online check-in. I was very glad that we didn't, because I would have missed that experience.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of how important that check-in experience is to set the tone for, because that's your first exposure to the resort, really.
Yeah, and we definitely walked in, and it's like a family resort, obviously. So, and we don't have kids, but kids everywhere, so be prepared for that. And then we waited in kind of a long line.
We don't have kids, but we're trying.
But, then we kind of waited in a little bit of a line that took us, maybe 5-10 minutes. But we were starting to get slightly like, oh, come on.
Because it's me and I don't want to wait. And so I'm like getting annoyed because it was like, there was a decent sized line,
yeah,
and there were about 3 or 4 cast members manning the front desk. And I noticed like 2 of them were like chatting with each other. And I'm like, come on. Then I realized the girl that was chatting was a trainee talking to her manager. And so I'm like, okay.
And I just wanted to finish that up with, once we got done with that and we spoke to the cast member who was at the front desk, we were like, well, that was incredibly pleasant. We were immediately like, well, now I'm happy, so they totally, turned it around for us. So.
And I was also happy because we got there about noon, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was around.
And the room was ready. Check-in's not till 4. So whenever you get the room before that, that's a bonus. And therein is was my other, generally pleasant experience. Now, I believe All-Star Movies is getting ready in a few months to undergo the rehab that a lot of the other resorts are going. So this is still the older style room, but I will tell you that I found it, for what it was, very comfortable. The beds were comfortable. We did notice some wear on the carpet, things like that. But it was very clean.
Yeah. I still think it's funny to walk into the room and see like Mighty Ducks along the top of it, just because it's just such an old Disney thing at this point. Like Disney doesn't even own the Mighty Ducks anymore, and it is funny to see kind of those relics of Disney's past. But but like you said, those will be gone soon probably. So
I don't think. I don't know.
When they redo the rooms, I'm not sure.
Right,
They're
I don't think they're going to get rid of the Mighty Ducks building.
No, I think the building is staying. I'm not saying that. Yeah.
One of my other observations, it was really cool because Tyler had never been. Tyler's from California. Tyler's never been to any of the All-Stars, so I was kind of getting the opportunity to see like what your natural reactions were.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because he was like, "Wow, this is really cool."
Yeah, it's not.
You were taken by it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's like an elegant hotel by any means, but when you walk in, if you're like a Disney fan, you're going to love the Fantasia 2000 stuff. You're going to love like the 101 Dalmatian stuff, and then the Herbie stuff was just weird. I was like, why is Herbie here? I'm totally okay with this, but why is Herbie here? I just, it was very strange, but also like put a huge smile on my face. So,
but this resort, like if I had to sum it up in one word, the experience that we had the day we did it, fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of a cloudy day, and they were afraid of rain. So in the lobby, they normally do this by the pool, but in the lobby, they were doing Mickey tie-dye T-shirts for $18. And you could either do it yourself, or you could tell them what colors you want, and they would do them. And I thought this, I don't know, this just tickled me. I got two of them. I got one in multiple colors, and then I got one that was black and white.
Yeah.
And they came out awesome. I mean, they came out really good. And I'm like, okay, it's $18, which is probably the cheapest Disney shirt you'll buy. It's unique. It's, made for you. It's custom made. It's that souvenir that you're going to remember. I got this when I was at Disney World staying at the All-Star movies. Mm-hmm. They do it, I think, all the values, because I saw it being done at Pop Century.
That I'm not sure of, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they probably do it at all the value resorts. But I had not seen that before. And I was like, that's really, really cool. So stuff like that, that's kind of like, informing that opinion that this was fun. Mm-hmm. I think probably my biggest surprise came in the food court. Now, I just want to let everybody know that alongside these shows, with each resort that we're covering, we're doing one of these shows where we kind of talk about our experience and give our review. But we also have full vlogs that are going up along with this. So some of the details and obviously more of the visuals will be found in those. So be sure to check those out. Specifically, I'm remembering that now because we're going to talk a little bit about the food court. We won't go into all the details, but as I talk about fun, we have to talk about the secret menu at the All-Star Movies food court. It's the only one of them, to the best of my knowledge, and Rhino, you may correct me if I'm wrong, the only one of the food courts at the resorts that does a secret menu. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. The food court at All-Star Movies is broken up by different movie theaters. It's the world premiere food court. And the one on the far right, as you're facing the food court, is the Rialto. And that's where you get the secret menu. You ask for the secret menu, and out they come with a silver briefcase. And they open it up, and in the briefcase are 4 Viewmasters, which, for me, child of the 70s, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And you look
I remember them too.
You look at the Viewmasters, and it shows you all the the 3 different secret menu items you can order. One slide is a picture of the item. The next slide is a description of the item and the price. And so there were poutine fries. Mm-hmm. There was a macaroni and cheese hot dog with cheddar cheese and bacon. And then there was
the star of the show.
The star of the show, Oh my God, it was so good. It was a bacon cheeseburger on a cinnamon roll bun.
Yeah.
So they just literally took a cinnamon roll, kind of a la, donut burgers. Took a cinnamon roll, sliced it down the middle, and put a bacon cheeseburger on it. And again, it was fun. And I'm going to say this too, because we tried each one of them. They were all good. Now, we did not sit there and eat one because, oh no.
No, that's, yeah.
So we were like taking little bits. Plus, we had done lunch a few hours before. So we were already kind of still full from lunch. But I was like, okay, this was really good. This food was good. Now, look, I'm not saying that, go out of your way and drive to the All-Stars to get this. But if you're staying there, you've got to try this. You've got to try that hot dog. The poutine fries were really good. I thought the fries could have been a little crispier. But, I also can't judge temperature or things like that because we spend 20 minutes taking pictures of everything before we actually eat it. So half the time the stuff we eat is cold by the time we get to it. But
I will say it was like gigantic too. Like the poutine was like, I swear you could definitely share that with a family of 4 and like no problem. I mean,
I would highly recommend that. Like you could share all of these.
Yeah.
No reasonable human being is going to sit down and eat that except Rhino, that cinnamon bun cheeseburger because you'll go into shock. But the hot dog was massive. That was a foot-long hot dog. And, with everything on top of it, I mean, yeah, that's 2 people could eat that and feel like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
But what I was, between lunch and that secret menu experience, I thought food was better than average. This was not crappy food court food. It was better than average. And I'm like, okay, I hear all these people yelling and screaming about. Now, again, I don't know what music and sports are like. I haven't been over there in a while. But I will tell you, as far as all-star movies, I thought they did a tremendous job. And again, cast members, whether it was the folks working behind the counter, whether it was folks working the register, whether it was the young lady I asked about the secret menu and she really got into it, just engaged, friendly, being conversational without being fake. And that was like just every cast member we ran into.
Yeah. I think a lot of cast members are friendly and polite, but the ones that we found at All Stars were like, it was like they were on some kind of mythical something that we needed to find. You know what I mean? Like we were like, they were just so happy. And and I've never seen such a group of cast members that were just so incredibly happy.
Well, I'll tell you, when I see that, I've been doing this for a while, and when I see that, those are the sorts of cues that tell me whoever's running that resort is a really good manager. Mm-hmm. Because they're obviously motivating and inspiring their cast. And look, it's one thing to motivate and inspire when you got a cool job. It's another thing to motivate and inspire when you're slinging hash at a value resort and you're dealing with tens of thousands of people or maybe let's say thousands of people. And not everybody is always nice. And sometimes it's busy and crazy and it's food service, it's service work, and that can be really, really challenging when you're dealing with the public. So when you're able to motivate and inspire and everybody seems happy and upbeat and wanting to be there and loving their job, you got some good management going on there. And I saw that across departments. I saw it in the food court. I saw it at the front desk. The girls that were doing the tie-dye t-shirt could not have been better, could not have been nicer, more fun, quintessential Disney. Saw it in housekeeping everywhere we went. That was my experience. Now, again, keep in mind, this is a one-day experience. So, and this is a snapshot of just what we experienced. Doesn't mean that it's, like that all the time. Doesn't mean that we can't report on that. We can only report on what we experienced. And we always encourage people when we talk about these reviews, never base a decision on whether you eat or don't eat or sleep or don't sleep at any particular resort or restaurant based on our review. This should be one part of your research. You know what's best for your family, what your family's going to like. Maybe our opinion doesn't match with that. Maybe our experience is different from yours. Neither one of us are wrong. This is a snapshot of what we experienced. The other thing that really stood out to me was the arcade. And as we did these resorts, I noticed something that I just really hadn't connected before. Or maybe I did and just forgot about it. The less expensive the resort, the better the arcade gets. The arcade in Pop Century and in All-Star Movies was huge and had a lot of great arcade games in there. There was this massive screen for playing Pac-Man or Galaga. I mean, the thing was like, 10 feet high. It was huge.
Like the controls were like too close to the screen. Like we needed to back up a little bit because it was like you couldn't even see what was going on. So
and it just so that was a lot of fun. And like I said, when you have that check-in experience, you have fun at the arcade. You have that cool souvenir you can make for yourself with the tie-dye T-shirts. You had some decent food and some friendly cast members in the food court. You had a comfortable, clean room.
They had the nice massage chairs too.
They had the massage chairs in the arcade. They were actually pretty good.
Actually pretty good in the arcade. I'm not gonna lie.
We're sitting there like a couple of old men.
Yeah.
And I did not get any special discounts on this. As a matter of fact, I want everybody to know. Just will remind you, in every one of these we do. We pay prevailing rates. We do not use travel agent rates or comps or anything else when we do these reviews. We pay what the general public can get. Now, if I can get an annual pass holder discount or another discount that's readily available, we will use that. In this case, I did not. It was $122. This is what was, we recorded this we stayed in January, the end of January of 2018. It was $122 a night. That was a preferred room. A preferred room is located close to the, usually close to the main building where the food court and everything else is. So you're not walking quite as far. Again, All-Stars are big resorts, a couple thousand rooms on each one. So some of these rooms can be a little far away. It may take a little bit of a walk to get to the main building. So you will pay extra for a preferred room. But $122
I was
a night.
just about to. I was like shaking my head over here off camera because I didn't even realize that it was $122, which I think is actually a ridiculous value. I think that is like
I agree.
Insane, actually, because you're not going to find, even off property, you won't find, cheaper hotels that are better than everything you get. You get all the Disney things. You get the transportation to all the, the hotel or all the resorts and everything. The theme parks is what I mean. But, and I'm just saying, it's everything that Disney has for $122. That's ridiculously cheap.
Look, for folks who watch, the rest of the shows we do and kind of know me, that my taste in hotels tends to run toward the more expensive. I like nice hotels. That's my thing. And I made a point going in here because, I wouldn't normally stay at the All-Stars. But I made a point going in to make sure that I kept my mind open. I did not, go in judging that it's not this and it's not that. And I'm really glad that I did that because I left myself open to this experience. Had I gone in there saying, oh, it's the All-Stars, I might have just, no matter what happened, kind of looked at it. I always try to do that with any of the reviews. So I, really tried to make a point of saying, okay, I'm going to keep my mind open. I want this experience. I want it to be good. I'm always going into whatever, hoping that it's going to be a good experience. And they did not disappoint. They did not disappoint. And I'm going to be honest. I would not think twice about staying at the All-Star Movies. I would not think twice about it. If it was available and it made sense, I would absolutely stay there. I felt comfortable. And I got to say something else, too. And again, just our experience. It seemed like the guests were nicer. We were running into just, and not even people that knew the show or knew us or anything like that. But like in the food court and, other areas of the resort, people just start striking up conversations with you, oh, where you from, and that weren't cast members. And I'm like, wow, the people are even friendlier here. So, all in all, I really don't have too many things to ding them on. Again, we were there for one night. But I can't say the food court was a bad value. It wasn't. I can't say the room was a bad value. It certainly wasn't. At $122 a night, the room by itself was a good value based on the fact that it is a Disney resort. When you add in all the other stuff, when you add in how good the cast members were, how well the grounds were maintained.
And it felt very peaceful, too.
It did. It did.
Like, I kind of expected there to be a lot of people running around, but it was actually like once we got out of the main lobby, it was like, oh, wow, this is nice and quiet everywhere we went.
Well, it's January in Disney World, so that's kind of a slower, generally speaking, a slower period. I'd be interested to see what the experience was in the middle of July.
Yeah.
When it's hot and everybody's miserable.
And in the pool.
In the pool and stuff like that. It was a little chilly the day we were there. But overall, I give All-Star Movies very high marks. And really positive vibe coming out of it, especially at $122 a night. And like I mentioned, more details and some other content can be found in the vlog going up alongside this. Find them all as part of our 7 resorts in 7 days coverage that we're doing this week. And that will do it for our review of Disney's All-Star Movie Resorts. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks for being with us.